What's a company secret you can share now that you don't work there? Health insurance, dude. When you file a claim, it is often denied because they're counting on you not escalating it. Once you do, your case goes to a medical management group, which ought to be called the we don't want to pay group. Keep escalating and involve your doctor. Fight for the insurance you paid for. Mortgage industry here, we're like cops. Only answer the question asked. Do not provide additional information to be helpful. It could screw you over. This isn't a company secret, but I worked part-time at a Domino's franchise in college. The owner was, at first glance, a short-tempered, critical penny pincher who did everything he could to save business money, right down to watching over your shoulder to make sure you didn't put too much cheese on a pizza. Cheese is called white gold in the pizza industry, even back in 2002. But after working for him for a while, you realized why he was so specific about the margins. Twice yearly, he would send out generous bonuses in the form of money orders made out to his employees, from his own personal savings account to the college students working for him. The checks, money orders contained the memo line, "Keep learning." The amount of the money orders would be directly correlated to the profit margins of the stores he owned. The dude did legit profit sharing. After I graduated, I heard a rumor that he was trying to start up a small education grant trust that would benefit applicants of the Farmer School of Business at Miami University. But I don't think anything ever came of it. This owner also played favorites when hiring. Every single one of his managers was a former employee. 3 of the 4 managers at his stores who I worked there had graduated from my college with business degrees. All 4 of them had a small portion of their education paid for by Marvin Covington. Mr. Marvin Covington of Oxford, Ohio, Domino's owner from Vevey, Indiana, died in 2017. That dude knew how to do business and do it right. I worked at Olive Garden in the mid-90s while I was in college. Back then, they had the all-you-can-eat soup, salad and breadsticks lunch special for like $4.25 plus tax. Working lunch shift sucked. You would get probably 2 or 3 tables, and there was a 99% chance that all of your tables were to ladies getting this lunch special with water during their lunch break. After about a year, several of our best servers were mysteriously fired. It turns out they were running a scam where they used the same receipt over and over again. When these ladies paid for their meal with cash, since we could get those 3 items ourselves from the back without ringing them into the system, these servers were just pocketing the cash for the entire meal. So instead of making like $5 to $8 in tips during a lunch shift like the rest of us dumb schmucks, they would make an extra $20 or so by stealing from the company. T-Mobile has 2 coverage maps. The one they show customers and the real one that is internal shows the actual coverage diminishes by about 50%. Their coverage is built on a bed of lies. I used to work in college admissions. Rich donors, athletes, and other VIPs have lower admission criteria. They still have minimums, but they're super easy to reach, even for a selective university. In the case of the university I worked for, BYU, children of General Church authorities also got this. If you were on live chat with customer care, I could see what you were typing before pressing send. I watched people work through grotesque, racist, sexist statements, fraudulent lies and mistruths, meticulous grammar fixes, and their whole range of emotions in real time before deleting and typing OK. I worked at a comic book store that offered a service where you paid a small premium to have sent in rare comics to have them graded at CGC. A few months later, we had many customers coming in to check the status of their comics. We contacted the owner to see what was going on, and he would always claim that there was some distribution problem. Fast forward a few months, we found out he was taking customers' graded copies and selling them online while trying to return back issue versions of their original comics. My friend and I were managers and had absolutely no idea this was happening. It was a smaller town comic shop, and all the customers sending in comics to be graded were good friends of ours. But the plot gets thicker. Turns out his wife was signed for the business, so the owner wasn't really the owner. We called her and explained what was happening. She was in tears. She came to shop to meet the wrong customers, and she took graded comics from the owner's collection and let the customers pick out comics to equal to the value of their graded comics in return for the mishap. Fast forward a few months, She closed the store, gave us our paychecks and even some I'm sorry money. It turns out the guy was doing all kinds of other shady shit. She divorced him, and I'm like 99% sure he went to jail for fraud. He's also banned from CGC and all of the licensed big comic cons. Lol. So don't worry. He lost that battle. I worked for a major hotel chain in housekeeping for over 10 years. The number of committed unalive and people who unalive naturally in their rooms is a lot higher than you'd think. I worked at a huge convention hotel with over 1,000 rooms and it happened quite often. At a local deli, grocery store I worked at, everyone raved about how good their mac and cheese is. And it always sold really quick when I worked in the deli. It's even labeled on the menu as store's famous mac and cheese. It's literally just Stouffer's. We didn't even add anything to it. I worked for a restoration company. One time an elderly woman called them to clean her house. She was a hoarder or there had been a fire, I can't remember. Anyway, the company charged $57,000 for the work to be done. But in actuality, they couldn't even get the charges to add up to $20,000. She couldn't file this on her insurance. There are other examples of gross overcharging, but this is the worst I know of that wasn't on the large loss side. The lesson here, if you have water, fire, mold, or hoarder damage and call in a company to clean it up, go through every line item on the invoice. Every single one. I used to work as a receptionist at an upscale salon. While I was there, the salon introduced a new line of products marketed towards men. Up until that point, most of our products were marketed towards women, but the execs saw that we were getting more male customers. Every item in the men's product line was about half the cost of our other products. The men's shampoo was the exact same shampoo the salon had been selling for years. But because they put it in black packaging with the word man on it, it was half the price. The owner's explanation was, well, men don't want to pay that much for hair products. For the rest of the time I worked there, every time a woman came up to buy that shampoo I'd tell her that the men's shampoo was the exact same product for half the price. I used to work surveillance at a casino. From something like 3 stories high ceiling, we could zoom in on money on the table games and read the serial numbers of the bills. We could see the pips on the dice. Policy was to not look down blazes, so we didn't look down. All new clothing and everything you try on is dirty. I've worked in retail for years and it still shocks people, but there's no washing machine, or disinfectant spray, or wipes, nothing. I've opened boxes of new clothes that had white bugs coming out of it. Seen woman, after a workout class come and try clothes on, then just leave still sweaty from the class. One older lady left dime-sized skin flakes in a clothes she tried on. Not to mention whatever happens when they return the item. Or what happened in the factory. People are gross, nothing is clean. Always wash your clothes when you get them home. Had someone steal a new bra and put their dirty-ass bra back on the rack, I threw it out. People have shit inside of fitting rooms, and to this day all new clothes bought are immediately washed. Everyone looks at me and I say the day you work in retail you will understand that. Humans are far more disgusting than animals. End of the story. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment. Thanks for watching.